Guys, uh, so sorry. I actually got dropped off from this call, but I was supposed to do the intro for each one of you. I am already seeing a lot of engagement here in the chat that people have started sending their LinkedIn links. Today, we are literally going to teach you how you can be a LinkedIn influencer just using Peppertype. And this is going to be like an hands-on, a human and the Peppertype together. And this is going to be the most interesting live demo that we have done of Peppertype. Thank you so much, Vanchika. First of all, I have to tell this to everyone who is listening to this right now. She came in on such short notice. I owe her special treat, party, gift,
How sweet.
maybe Peppertype subscription also. But uh, thank you so much for doing this on
No
such short
worries.
notice for us at Elevate. Um, Before we even get into this session, I'm going to hand it over to Pranav, but I just want to know from each one of you here in the audience, are you already using Peppertype? Of existing paid customers of Peppertype, can you just type in like yes? If you're on a free trial, just write free trial. Okay, Karan is not yet on Peppertype. Karan, I'm very sure if you're going to stick with us to for the next 30 minutes, you are going to become a Peppertype customer. So I'll see you guys again in the next 30 minutes. And Karan, I'm gonna especially be here to ask you that question, that if now you'll become a Peppertype customer or not. But I'm handing it over to Pranav now, and Pranav, Vanchika, all the best for doing this, and please show us how everybody can skyrocket and boost their LinkedIn presence using Peppertype.
Awesome.
Got it. Thank you, Pawan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're back. Got it. So, just to set some structure to this conversation, Vanshika, I'll be quickly showing you a slideshow wherein we'll be discussing a couple of points, and then we'll come back to this screen, and I'll be asking you these questions. So, I'll just share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen, everyone. Just drop a yes. Yeah, got a bunch of thumbs up. So yeah, welcome to Peppertyping, everyone. We call it Peppertyping 101, wherein we'll tell you how to use your real world use cases using Peppertype. So this session is all about boost your LinkedIn presence. We'll be telling you what Peppertype is for all those who have not used Peppertype yet or who don't know about it. We'll be telling you what it is. We'll be talking to Vanshika about how LinkedIn it is as a platform. How does it work? What are the tips and tricks to perform on it, and what are some things that you should take care before you start on LinkedIn. We'll be talking about building your profile, how you should build your profile and why you should build it a certain way. We'll be also talking about her secret content strategy and the BTS of how she produces that great content that she does. We'll be talking exactly on creating certain type of content. We'll be talking how she creates a content calendar for herself and how she maintains that repository. And lastly, we have a personal surprise for you, all the elevated attendees. We have a really great surprise at the end. So make sure that you're sticking till the end to get that. And here's a very great testimony from the man himself, Ryan Hoover, who have told that writing and storytelling is still very undervalued, but so important in almost every role. Doesn't matter if you're from sales, product, marketing, but it's almost as important as any other skill. And he's so curious to see how Peppertype changes all of this. So yeah, I'm just gonna get back here, and Vanshika would just love to know, what have you learned over the time, how LinkedIn is as a platform, and what do you think about it?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Vanchika Mehta. I'm basically a brand strategist and a communications consultant. I work mainly with the startup space. And to be honest, I started using LinkedIn about 5 years ago ish. So obviously, while I was in college, the thing that was told to all of us was use LinkedIn for jobs and people will find you, and recruiters are going to look for you on LinkedIn. So make sure your profile was up to date. But the piece that they did not tell us was, other than making your profile, you have to create content, because that's how LinkedIn's algorithm works. Just having a profile meant nothing. And so I downloaded the app on my phone and I was like, this is interesting. Like classes ke beech mein I would just log in and read and be like, this sounds cool. Like very cool people are on the platform. And when you join new, it starts throwing you suggestions of people that you should connect with. And I was like, there's like vice president of some company, like marketing head. And I was like, these people are like really not ever going to connect with me. And then I started like seeing that people were posting content and lots of good content, which is when I was like, okay, let me just try. And that's how the journey started. And yeah, I mean, LinkedIn has been with me right from when I was just graduated till today. I've gotten jobs on LinkedIn. I've met such amazing people like Pranav right here, the entire Pepper team. I've got to work with such cool organizations. I've got to talk to people I never thought I would even get a chance to talk to. I remember like there were these networking events that used to happen in Boston, and I'm like very shameless, and I was like, hey, like I know you're the head of marketing, but do you mind if I join? And I would get invites to events where there was no one my age. So literally, LinkedIn has been a complete gold mine. And the biggest mistake that I made, which I really hope you guys don't make, is to start early. Like, had I started writing content at the capacity that I am today, I would be at a totally different place. Not saying that I'm not happy where I am right now, but had I done this 5 years ago till today, I would have like literally been like 3 4x of where I am right now. So LinkedIn is a super powerful channel if you use it well. And part of even why I jumped freelance, and I'm touchwood like really happy that I made that shift, was because I was like, I know I have a strong community. I know I have a lot of trust on LinkedIn. Like it's going to be good. And when Peppertype actually came in, I was one of the beta testers, and I was super excited because just the functionality and the different kinds of things it can do can really help you if you are, say, maybe not a content person and you're like, what do I write today? That's when you go to Peppertype. Or sometimes you're like, I've written something and I have some brief thoughts. What do I do next? And then you go to Peppertype. So I'm really excited to be here and share my experience of how I've used Peppertype on LinkedIn. And today we'll demo it for you guys. And really excited to chat about this topic. So thanks once again to the Pepper team for having me.
No, no, the pleasure is all ours, Vanshika. And I think I relate with you on that point that whenever you first come on LinkedIn, you see all these people that you've only heard of in other mentions, and you see an actual opportunity of being connected to them. So that's a great thing I think LinkedIn provides us. And yeah, I think I agree with you on most of the points on when you first come in. And yeah, I think better late than never, right? If you even start right now, it always compounds. So
Absolutely. Like, I think there is no better time to start than today because, um, I mean, once you start seeing the results, it feels really good. Like, the amount of things that you can use LinkedIn for. Like, think of it like a catalyst, right? Like, you're running a business. How do you use LinkedIn to leverage that? You're a freelancer, just like I am. How do you leverage LinkedIn? So many different use cases. So, definitely, I mean, content is the backbone to LinkedIn, and Peppertype is here to help you when you need it.
got it. Thanks a lot for that, Vanshika. So I'll just like to start with a very most asked question that I've been asked, and something that I'm also doubtful about is that most of us see LinkedIn as a very job first platform, as a very transactional platform, wherein you either go to hunt jobs or you go there to recruit people. So what is your take on this? Is it a communities platform? Is it a transactional platform? What is it exactly for you?
Yeah, that's a question that even I get a lot, and a lot of people ask me. I mean, this is, I think, a question that comes up in almost every interview that, like, is it important to have a personal brand and why did you build it? So I think, having a personal brand, right, is something that stays with you throughout your life, right? Like, if you think of any famous internet personality, right? You think of, like we had Ankur Warikoo in the morning over here, Digital Pratik, Web Assistant. There's so many names of these people who built a strong personal brand on LinkedIn and other channels, and that brand stays with them irrespective of what they're doing in their life. Right? You're in a job, you're studying, you're freelancing, you're looking to build a community, you're doing anything, right? It's like it's that like omnipresent thing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So I think honestly, if you think of LinkedIn just as a job site, you're probably doing it wrong, because there's so much opportunity to do so much more. And the fact is, again, like I keep saying, if you build a personal brand on LinkedIn, that's going to stay with you. Like every interview that I've had, like when I was in my full-time job, all the three interviews, the question of, oh, we checked out your LinkedIn and you're like, you're doing some really awesome stuff, came up in every interview. And it's a great talking point, because say, you can actually influence, you can talk, you can build community, you can say you're starting out a new SaaS business and you want real time feedback. Like small things like these can happen if you build your brand and build that community, right? Like so many times on LinkedIn, I see, for example, like, hey, I'm at this company, we're thinking of building this thing, looking for 20 people to chat with about the product, right? So many different instances. And like I said, personal brand is not going anywhere. It's like your best friend that you're going to have throughout, irrespective of what you do. Which is why if you start building it today, you're going to be in a better place 1 year from now, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I think I love that analogy that whenever you send your LinkedIn profile, it goes as your spokesperson that speaks for you, and then you actually present yourself. So that's a great analogy that I'm taking with me after this session. So Vanshika, let's jump into the good part right now. I think a lot of people right now in the chat are also saying that how convinced they are about going back to their LinkedIn or starting LinkedIn profile right now. So I think as I see LinkedIn, there are two parts to it, right? You can get started by building your profile, and you can get started by creating content. So in the profile part, I see all the other social medias are pretty simple, right? You just add your username and you just add a simple bio and you get started. But LinkedIn has so much as a profile section. So what's your take on that? Like, how do you see the profile section of the
Yeah,
LinkedIn?
absolutely. Like, I think you need to fill in your profile end to end, because, say for example, it's okay, like it's like going to a party and then like without having an intro, being like, hey, let's talk. That's not cool, right? You have to go up to the person, you have to be like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. So think of LinkedIn the same way. A lot of people actually miss out on the most prominent real estate on their LinkedIn profile, which is that banner image on the top, right? If you go to my profile, you'll see that I've actually filled it in. Another thing, people generally in that tagline space, right under your display picture, they just write their job title. That's not where you write your job title. That's where you actually prove to people where you deliver value. Your summary section is great for people to read, to get to know about you, right? A lot of times when people send me LinkedIn requests, like if there is no mutual like overlap in profession or what they're doing, or their LinkedIn is dead, I'm like, maybe I don't want to connect. But sometimes I like, maybe the person is not that active, but they have a great summary. Like that gives me a reason to connect, because I feel like I know them. And then after that, like the experience section, definitely fill it out as much as you can. And I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but keywords are super, super important everywhere. Like if you're in, say, brand strategy, like I am, make sure you sprinkle that word everywhere. And we're going to show you how to do it. But basically, LinkedIn works like any other algorithm, where it picks up on words that are repeated in your profile. So if you go look at my profile, you will see it repeated in many different forms, and it's done very, very intentionally. So these are just some of the top things, because like you can't go to a party and just start talking to a stranger, right? Like think of that analogy when you're creating your LinkedIn. And we'll definitely show you how to fill in the rest of the information, which will be really helpful to you.
Yeah, I think this is my second favorite analogy today that I'm taking with me. And you said something about keywords, right? So I made a very quick PPT to help people structurize it and visualize everything better. And I have personally used that sentence a lot. So I was talking to you the other day, and you're telling me how you should use those keywords and stick to your particular set of keywords, right? So
Right.
everybody who's in this session right now, you're gonna see this particular statement a lot. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because that is the truth, right?
Yeah.
That is how it goes, right? So I'm just gonna quickly share my screen, Vanshika.
Yeah. Go
We'll be
for it.
going through the particular sections of all the LinkedIn profile, and you can tell everybody and me on how you can optimize them better. What's your personal take on how they should be built, and we'll also be sharing with everybody on how you can create that content. What Vanshika tells you. So just
Yeah.
let me know if if you can share see my screen right
Also,
now.
everybody that's watching, if you want, in the chat section, let us know what part you're struggling with, so that like I can maybe emphasize a little more on that. So, are you struggling with the tagline? Are you struggling with the summary? Like, let us know in the chat. We're reading it as the session goes along, so we can definitely correlate, and I'll be more than happy to help you with my experience.
Got it. Thanks a lot for Vanshika. I think, yeah, definitely. So just let me know if you can see my screen, everyone. Just give me a
I
big
can't
thumbs
see
up.
it. Yeah, now we can.
So everybody just give us a bunch of thumbs up, and we'll be starting with the PPT as well. Yep, I see some thumbs up flying up here. So yeah, this is the 101 section of LinkedIn and building your profile. We're picking up three sections at first. That is headline, profile, and cover image, right? So all stage is your, Vanshika. Tell us about how you should
Yeah,
write a tagline, how you should write a
got it.
headline.
So we'll start from the top, since I think some people are having issues with tagline and summary. So summary will come next, but let's start at the top. So as you see on the top, right, that section, that is literally the first thing that anybody sees. If you're leaving it blank, you're making a huge mistake. And super easy, like I'm not a graphic design pro or anything. Go to Canva, they have ready-made templates. Put in your data, put in some colors, put in whatever text you want, and that's it. So as you can see on the top, it says to build a brand, you need a story, and I help you build that story. So that's just something that really resonated with me and spoke about me even before they read the profile. And then on the right hand side, what I did was I put in my website address, my Instagram, and then my LinkedIn in case like they wanted to send it or whatever. Then obviously comes the name, and then that tagline, right? Like I said, if you just enter, general manager at XYZ company, nobody's going to care. Instead, it needs to be something around what you do, why someone should trust you, what value do you bring, what do you do differently, what are you proud of, right? Like these are things that you can actually talk about. And I mean, so many people, like one day, hopefully, I go on TEDx. So many people are proud of the fact that they've done TEDx. So you'll see a lot of TEDx in this summary line. A lot of people who are, say, speakers, right, who do this day in and day out, they write like 100 plus speeches given in X number of countries. So think of something that will instantly grab someone's attention, um, is what you do, and makes them want to start a conversation with you, right? Because the connect button comes under all of this. So they're first going to read that top line, then they're going to read your tagline, then they're going to connect with you. So, for example, I've written about the fact that I work with startups, and I've written that I do branding, storytelling, communications, LinkedIn stop voice, which is something I'm really proud of for sure, and that I'm a speaker and an advisor. So, like anyone that reaches out to me, they're more than happy and more than willing to, I'm more than willing to chat. So, these are just some aspects of mine that I feel talk about me and put a good foot forward. And the thing is also, I mean, another really amazing thing is that when you change it, right, you'll see sometimes maybe your profile views will go really high. Sometimes, if it doesn't stick or it doesn't work for you, you'll notice that your profile is not doing well. So I mean, it's you have to try and test it, which goes back to those keywords, right? Like I want to be found for branding, brand, storytelling, communications, right? These are the four keywords that I absolutely need to be found for, which is why I put it over there so that it instantly strikes you, and the right kind of people connect with me, right? Like this is another great filter to maybe discourage people who are not like someone that you can have a conversation with for whatever reason, to connect with you. Because just having random dead connections on LinkedIn is not going to really help you. You need to actually make sure that everybody you're adding adds value to you, and those connections turn into conversations. Like, I like to call it C2C. So don't just think of them as connections, think of conversations that you can strike up. And this is a great way to start. And all the connection requests that come in where someone has actually written a personalized note, you'll know, I've noticed that they're very direct. They're like, hey Vanchika, we're looking for brand and branding, blah 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 blah, can you help us? Or hey Vanchika, we're stuck with this, would you be able to help us? So like, I have basically funneled down the kind of people that connect with me, because they know why they should connect with me and what is the common point that we can talk about. So super super important to have those keywords. And don't be boring, right? Make it fun. Don't just write your position, because that's really not value adding, and they'll anyway find out about it when they scroll down. So don't make it boring for the person reading your tagline.
Got it. I think that's some really gems of knowledge that you just told me, Vanshika. So, everybody, I think this is the moment that you've been waiting for as well. We're gonna get to Peppertype and we're trying to recreate Vanshika's profile right now. So, just let me know if you can share, see this particular tab that I'm sharing right now. Yeah, yeah. So, can you see this particular Google Doc? So, this is one of the templates that we'll be sharing with you. It's containing everything right from profile to content strategy to creating content, and it's a very guided template that we made for you. And we're just going to start creating Vanshika's profile right here. Now, as I see, there are three parts to profile. There is a headline, there is a cover image, and there's a about section, right? So we're trying to create a good headline for Vanshika right now, and we're going to use this tool called Website Headlines and Copy in Peppertype.ai. So for everyone who doesn't know what Peppertype is or they have not seen it anywhere, I'm just going to quickly take you through that as well. Yeah, just give me a second. Okay, so can you see my screen right now? Yeah. So, what is Peppertype.ai? Peppertype.ai is an AI-powered content generation tool that helps you create quality content within seconds. Now, just read the parts that are in blue. For you, it's just AI-powered quality content within seconds, right? And we're going to make sure that it's very, very fast, it's very high quality, and it's all powered by AI. So, it's very affordable and very cheap as well. So coming to the Peppertype product, here is how it looks like. It's a very beautiful product. It's a very intuitive and a simple to use product. And you can see all these content types being listed here. So we'll be telling you, don't get overwhelmed. We will be telling you how to use some of them to create crisp content for your LinkedIn. Now, as I said, right, we're going to go to website headlines and copy. Okay, I was just going to search it here. And we're going to enter Vanshika as the product. I'm really sorry, but and as you can see in this Google Doc, we asked Vanshika what are her three keywords, and this is what I got from her LinkedIn profile: brand strategy, copywriting, and strategic communications. So I'm just going to mention Vanshika as expert in brand strategy, copywriting, and strategic communication. What we are looking for here is a very crisp copy, a very great copy that we can use in our cover image or her headline, right? So a new level of strategic thinking. I think this is a great one. You can save all the results, you can edit them here, or you can just simply copy them. So yeah, providing brand strategy, copywriting, and strategy combination to startups in India. Get your brand in the limelight.
Love
I
it.
help you do that.
I
So yeah,
love it.
just quickly edit a little bit. And the best part is it's a never-ending list. It just keeps on giving you ideas, keeps on giving you great copy. So let's create a winning brand strategy for your business. Put your brand ahead of the competition. So it's a bunch of copies. I can't even talk about each of them. Turn your brand into a story that sells,
Love it.
right?
That's exactly what I do. It's like it's reading my mind. Like, that's literally what I do.
Yeah, I think these are some of the copies that we can just, pick up here. We can go back to a Google Doc and we can add them here. And we can obviously add some of the achievements that you have had. And I think LinkedIn top voices is a really big deal. So I'm just going to
Thank
mention
you.
that first. Um, yeah, I think this is a great first draft for your copy, right? This can be a great headline. Would love to know your opinion on the same, Vanshika.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like it's reading my mind, right? Like it's like it just like
It's
took
not.
the
It's
keywords
not
and it was
just.
like it's my best friend. Like I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's not. It's not reading your mind. It's just taking the keywords and using its own brain.
Very
So it's a
nice.
headline, and you can also use some of the copies for your cover image. So you can pick a template from the Canva. We've added the Canva link here. So you can choose from all of these really cool banners. Just add the copy that you get from Peppertype, and that's it. 30 seconds, and you're done with a really great cover for you as well. So you can even, I think this is a great copy for the cover image, right? This is a very enthusiastic copy, very uh, nice copy that let's create a winning brand strategy for your business. So if I arrive at a profile and I'm looking for a brand strategist, and if I see this in their cover image, I'm going to give them a big fat thumbs up, right? So, Vanshika, what do you think about this copy?
I actually love it because it's what I really like is the consistency in the tone, right? That's another thing, right?
Yeah.
Like both of them sound very friendly and approachable, which is what you want to be on LinkedIn. You don't want to sound stuck up or egoistic on LinkedIn, which is why these two sound beautiful as a pair.
Yeah, I think then we are good to move ahead. And third is the about section that I personally dread. So I've seen a lot of variety of about sections in people's profile, and I personally hate it. I personally am very much like, how do I write the perfect about? So again, Vanshika, up to you. It's
Yeah.
open to you. Please tell us.
Yeah, so your about us section, right? And I saw a couple of you said the summary section. It's basically where you can tell people more about who you are and what you bring to the table, right? So this is like your value add. And also think of it like an extension to your tagline. So for example, like mine is in a storytelling format in terms of like what my history was, where I am right now, what I do, and my contact information. So um, great tip that I see over here is make sure that there are spaces. Humans today can't read chunky blocks of text. Make sure you have something very crisp. It doesn't need to be long, it just needs to be very interesting for someone to read and want to connect with you. So keep that in mind. Make sure, again, keywords, 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 right? Like look up other people in your industry and see what keywords they're using. So, for example, if you're in content writing, then maybe you need to have the word SEO, maybe you need to have Ahrefs, maybe you need to have Peppertype Pro, all of these things, right? So, all these keywords, make sure you have them over here again and repeatedly so that LinkedIn picks up on those keywords and puts you in the search algorithm. But I think it's covered very beautifully over here, like keywords, spacing, and don't forget your contact information. So I would suggest, like, if you're running a business, people do spam a little bit here and there, so you will get junk mail. If you don't want that, I would suggest just have another email for your LinkedIn, and just put that email address there. Don't give out your phone number, please. Email address is more than enough. But use this space to talk about you as a person and build that emotional connect. Like when someone reads it, they should feel like they know who I am without me telling them this is who I am. Over to you, Pranav, again.
I think I particularly love one part of that whole statement that you gave me. If you're a content writer, you can write Peppertype Pro in your about. So I would be really happy personally. We'll all be really, really happy if I see that tomorrow that someone is a content writer and they're writing Peppertype Pro in their about section. So yeah, I think I really love Ankur Variku's about section. It's very readable. It doesn't sound braggy at all, and Ankur Variko, for all those who doesn't know, he's an entrepreneur, he's a teacher, he's a content creator, he's a mentor. He started a company called Nearby, and he's done lots of great stuff post that. He has a huge following of over 4 million now, and this is his LinkedIn bio. And I see this particular rule being followed very beautifully, that you should always leave breathing space, right? So yeah, we'll be telling you how you can write this uh, about section using Peppertype and a little bit of your magic as well. So yeah, are you able to see the Google Doc, Vanshika?
Yes, I am.
Got it. So there are three tools that I've added. Again, can't focus on these word enough. Please use your keywords. And yeah, I'm going to use these keywords only for Vanshika. And we're trying to write a about section for Vanshika now. So I'm going to open the personal bio tool in Peppertype.ai. You can see it from the gallery as well. And I'm going to just uh, enter Vanshika's name. You can also write the tone of voice that you want. So Vanshika, would you like professional? Would you like casual, friendly, anything?
Friendly for sure.
Got it. So I'm just going to enter that, and I'm going to let Peppertype start doing the magic here. Yep.
Kritika is asking that Ankur's summary is in third. Shouldn't we write it in first? So there's a lot of debate on that, to be very honest. I personally feel that it is your profile, so it should be in first because it's not like someone else is writing it for you. So my preference is first, but again, I mean, up to you. There's no hard and fast rule on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I see. Actually, this is was something that I was gonna ask you too. A lot of people write their summary in the third person format. I think it's about ages, right? Earlier, whenever somebody used to ask for your bio or your CV, it always used to be written in a third person format.
Third person, yeah.
Now it's started coming in the first person format. So I'm not really an expert on that topic, but that's as far as I've read and as far as I've seen.
Yeah. I think also when you write in first, you use the word I, me, myself, and that feels like it's actually coming from you. So it adds that touch of personality yet
Yeah.
personalization.
Yeah. So I think we'll just look at the first result here, Vanshika. So Vanshika is a copywriter and a brand strategist. We can definitely change this and add a little bit of, and an expert in uh, strategic communication as well, right? So you can write that she is an expert in using short and snappy copy to craft cohesive branding and communication strategies. Her extensive experience at some of the leading communication agencies has focused on her crafting and branding communication strategies that work on multiple touchpoints and target audiences. She loves doing her job and is really excited about the role that copywriting and communication play in making people's lives better. So you can definitely change this into first person as Vanshika prefers that. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we can use this as the starting point. You can also input more and more information about yourself. So you can even say that you graduated from, let's say, for example, HBS, right? You are uh, working as independent consultant, and you can add in this, right? So the more context that you give to this Peppertype tool, the more accurate, the better the results are going to be. So yeah, as soon as you enter that she's an independent consultant, it's going to start writing that as well.
Yeah. And the best
So
part about so many options is that you can pick parts that you like and then mix it together. So it's literally like you're using technology to help you get started, and then you just make it sound more like you, which is amazing.
yeah, and I think like for this particular result, right? So I'm not you don't really like starting with a writer and a blogger, but I do like this writing, right? She loves to read and write. Her stories depict the feeling and emotions of the people in the society. So I like this particular line, so I can just pick it up and place it here. So I can stretch it up to all I want, and I can use this particular tool to get that. Second thing that Vanshika really Vanshika said that great was, what is so unique about you? What is the purpose that you serve to the person who's viewing your profile? So that's where the value proposition play comes here, right? So what's a value proposition? Value proposition is something that you offer to the other person that other people can't. So I'm just going to enter Vanshika's name here again. I'm going to remove this particular part. You can even add in some target audience you have, let's say copywriters and marketers view my profile. Now, once you enter that, it's going to start generating paragraphs of content. So yeah, I've been a copywriter for, you can just change it to 5 years. Let's say if you've been on LinkedIn for five. So you can generate this content a lot, and you can enter your value propositions. So I'm an expert that teaches you how to be a great copywriter, right? So you can write in all these details here. Finally, all these other tools you can use to write this perfect about section. You can always use the tools called content rewriter, content expander. So these tool basically understands you, they complete your sentences. Content rewriter, you just put in the existing content that you have, and it will just do its magic and rewrite all of it. So I'll just put in this content here, once it has about, and I'm going to change it to a tone that's more friendly. So it's going to rewrite it into multiple versions, right? A bright and talented strategist, you can change the name to Vanshika, shines it when it comes to reaching specific audience segments. With experience in both traditional and new media, she has an acute mind for what she will get her campaign noticed. I think this is my personal favorite till now. So what do you think, Vanshika? Is it a good starting point for you as a writer, as a content creator?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I really liked was it picks up on different aspects. So each one sounds different. And like I said, like you can mix and match, you can create your own. But this is a really good place to start because a lot of times people struggle with where do I begin. So this is a great tool to help you with the where do I begin, and then also with what are the details that I need to put in. So I think it's beautifully done and very cohesive and very comprehensive.
Yeah, and I think we've been constantly using the keywords, right? Copywriter, brand strategy. Here we have been using strategies again. All of the bio contains those keywords, so it's make sure that it's going through SEO, search engine optimization, and it's also telling the people a clear idea of what you do. And we should really, I've seen people, and I've gotten confused on what they exactly do. They've added so many keywords, so many fields. They started with digital marketing, they went to even operations and all of that stuff. And it's really confusing for me as a profile viewer that what does this person exactly do. So I would really advise this from my personal front that you should just choose two to three keywords, and you should really stick to them while creating your profile or your content strategy. So yeah, I think about work experiences, Vanshika, I've seen this on your profile.
Yeah, so again, like I said, within WorkX as well, right? One really interesting hack that I'm going to share with all of you that someone told me was that there are so many different ways to say the same thing that if you use different keywords, even though you're doing the same thing, the chances of you getting caught for that keyword are much higher. So, for example, like, in all of my job roles, I mean, I was pretty much doing the same thing. I was doing events, community, social, email, marketing related stuff. But what this person told me really helped because I use different keywords per category. And that really, like, I noticed it really helped my search results because I was getting found for the right keywords, which is really important. Like, for example, I might be found for communications lead, I might be found for content lead, right? So using these keywords in different ways is super important. And again, you need to write that section under to make sure that people know what you did at that job. One big mistake that I see people doing who are in jobs is that they think that they can copy the job description and put it in there. but that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to write what you did over there with tangible results, right? You need to say something like created 10 social media campaigns over 6 months and got 4,000 new followers, right? Something as descriptive as that needs to be in this section so that it acts like a milestone sort of place that people can read, being like, okay, this person has actually done something very cool. And when LinkedIn introduced photos and stuff in this section, I went and I put in a bunch of photos. So if you go to my profile, I think you can see it here as well. I intentionally uploaded photos. And again, this is something that I learned, that it takes up more space, which means that it'll catch somebody's attention. Right? At the end of the day, we're all stuck looking for attention and craving attention. And when you put those photos, it adds that extra line, and it makes people stop to be like, oh, what did she upload? So then they go and they check it. So you can go check how I've done it on my profile. I just pasted my link in the chat section. But doing that really adds that space compared to a normal one. And also another thing is that when you add photos, it shows that you've taken that extra effort, because most people will not. So when you've done it, it's
Yeah.
something to be proud of and something to look at. But over to you to build out this section. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I think I was seeing your section and I was actually so I was actually stunned and shocked that this is not like any other work experiences that I have personally seen. It's very rich. It includes a lot of pictures. It includes a lot of links, and that just actually makes me think here. Yeah, she must have done these things, and you've used all these different words. So I think you have told it really right, Vanshika. I really loved your work ex section, and yeah. So I'm just going to jump into the best part, I think, content strategy. How you can create content for LinkedIn from scratch, from ideation to write to creation to the final draft, right? So, Vanshika, this is my question, and this is the question I can't put enough emphasis on. Please tell us what's your brain like, what's your whole process of content creation is like with every single detail. I want to know what are the tools you use, what is your uh, mindset when you're creating that content. Just over to you. Please tell me that.
Yeah. So I think to create good content, you need to consume good content. And this is what I tell everybody, right? While there are a limited number of ideas and ways that you can do things in the world, it's super important to be constantly filling your brain with the right kind of information and the right kinds of inspiration to get you started. So huge hack that all of you are hearing from me, I think for the first time right now over here, is if you are in, say, a content writing industry, go to every famous website that you know in the industry, be it Neil Patel, be it Ahrefs, be it BuzzSumo, whatever tools, whatever content people also. And I guarantee you, each one of these websites and people will have a newsletter. Go and subscribe to that newsletter. Like it is, I get so many ideas just reading other people's content. And the thing is that it's not plagiarism if you get inspired by what you read and then you add your take on it. So I generally, like, first of all, subscribe to a bunch of newsletters. Second is I'm very conscious about the kinds of information I consume, right? It can get very daunting if you have emails and social and Instagram and this and that. So be conscious of the kind of information you consume. Make sure it's coming from a verified, legitimate source. Be it on LinkedIn, right? Like, even if you're like, okay, screw everything else, I'm going to be on LinkedIn and I'm going to get my content on LinkedIn. That's still very, very acceptable. Make sure you follow the right kind of people so that you get the right kinds of inspiration. Next thing is, it's always good to note down and jot down points based on where you're getting it or what it's related to. So, for example, I use Notion, where I have like a table and I've split it up by the topics that I want to be known for, which is again really important, because when you're building your niche on LinkedIn, you need to be known for two, three, four things. If you're known as a generalist, then you're going to be known as nobody. Instead, it's really important that you get known for a certain number of things. So, for example, for me, those content buckets are, say, branding, communications, freelancing, solopreneurship, whatever those three, four buckets are. And I have that on my Notion. And every time I get an idea, maybe if I'm like out somewhere and I see something or I read a newsletter and I really like it, I go and I put it in that particular column, which acts like a very good repository for information. So either you just copy paste that paragraph and you put it in there, or if it's like a blog that you really like, put the link of the blog. And I think the only thing with content is that you have to create every day to get better at it. Um, I mean, I also struggle with this because if I don't write on LinkedIn every day or every couple of days, I also lose touch. And it's a real bad feeling to be looking at your screen, being like, what do I write? And then you're just completely blank, which is when that Notion sheet helps you. But again, like, it's okay if your grammar is not right. It's okay if you make spelling mistakes. It's okay if your formatting is not great. Like, nobody here is going to judge you. Once you start, just make sure you continue with it. And that is where you get better at writing. And then also, I mean, use tools like Peppertype to help you get inspired and start that writing process. So, use it to start. If you're stuck, go back to Peppertype and see what suggestions it's giving you, and then add on with your experience, and you've pretty much got a post. So, my only advice is that you need to stay consistent. And when you're consistent, you'll notice the quality of your content itself going up. That can't happen overnight. It is a process, and everybody goes through it. So, leave your hesitations behind. Nobody's going to judge you. If you want, run it through Grammarly and Hemingway, but that's about it. Like, there's no big hack. It sounds very overwhelming, but it's not. And you have tools like Peppertype to help you do exactly this so that you don't feel stuck. Over to you, Pranav.
Thanks a lot, Vanshika. I think just to sum it up here, I'm going to just share my screen again. Um, just let me know if it's visible now.
Yes, we can see it.
Sorry. Yeah. So content strategy, I think these are the 5 points, 4 points that I took from you the other day. And I think I can definitely add two or three more here. So first, decide the frequency and start slow. So right now, if I work, let's say 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day, I should be able to decide how much time I can dedicate to LinkedIn or my personal brand anywhere on the social media. And I should be able to understand how much I can post in a week. I should decide that frequency. I should keep it on the lower end. That hey, I have the bandwidth to post 3 times a week. I can maybe increase it in the future, but you should always start slow so you don't end up exhausting yourself. So decide the frequency, and be sure to always be consistent. Content is nothing if you're not consistent. If it's SEO, if it's social media, if it's performance marketing, I think consistency has to be there in social media. So, and third thing that I heard you say, um, Vanshika, is that you plan your content ahead. You manage your content calendar on Notion, and we're going to see just a reference for that in the next slide. So always plan your content ahead. You might be out for a week or something might have happened, wherein if you can't ideate content, if you can't create that content, and each one of us know what's a writer's block always come in that path. So you should always have some content as a backup that you can just pick up and post on your LinkedIn. Lastly, I think engage with other accounts in your niche. And what rightfully Vanchika also said, please never be shy about posting content in your niche. You always get better with time. And I remember all of us, and I think Vanchika would just love to know also. What's your experience and what's your memory of your first LinkedIn post?
It was pretty terrible. It was like me just being like, I am thinking of writing on LinkedIn. What do you guys think? Like, is this a good idea? Is this not? What do you want to hear about? And honestly, I mean, I see a really interesting question here from Karan, who's like, I'm not a content writer, but do I have to share content? So the thing is, like, if you're not a content writer, right? You yourself are generating content every day. Like, I know Karun personally, and I know he has to do something with finance and taxation. You can literally write like 30 pieces of content on like 30 things that people do wrong with their taxes, or 30 ways to save on your tax, or 10 ways that you can save on, say, some tax, right? There's so many ideas that you create every day, right? Like 10 mistakes I made when I started, 3 courses that you need to take to become a good tax consultant, right? There is content all around you, and if you're not a content writer, that's okay. Nobody's going to judge you, but start writing so that LinkedIn starts helping you connect with other people, and use a tool like Peppertype again to help you write that content, right? Like if you're stuck, use it as a base and then build on it. And content doesn't need to be large and like a long blog post, right? It can be 100 words, 200 words. That's just enough to get the ball rolling, and do it at a, like you said, agreed with Pranav, like if every day works for you, do it every day. If you want to do it 3 times a week, do it 3 times a week, but then stick to that 3 times a week and make sure you do it, because that's the only way, like I said, to get better at writing content and creating better content.
Yeah, and I think with finance being as a field, right, your target audience is other professionals. All the
Right.
other professionals are your target audience. So let's say if I'm selling paper type, right, I can majorly target copywriters, marketers, founders. I have a certain set of audience, right? But with you being a finance person, all of the working professionals are your target audience, right? So you can definitely help them there. And I really hope I see you creating some content. I'm definitely open to helping you anywhere if you want. So yeah, let's just get started with everyone. So this is a basic idea of what I have in my mind of content calendar might look like. So there's a free Notion template that you can just check out. I will be including the link in the recording as well. So this is how a content calendar looks like. You can just mention all your ideas in the first tab. If you're not able to see, I can just zoom in. So you can mention all your ideas here, all the posts that are in progress that you want to review, and then finally which are published. So you can maintain such a very simple content calendar on Notion and get started. So these are some of the pillars of content that you can write on. So these are picked up from a conversation that me and Vanshika were having a couple of days back. So Vanshika, over to you again, and just tell us what is your brainstorming process like. What all things do you think about when you're thinking of ideas when you're using Peppertype? Of what can you create that content on?
Yeah. So basically, if you think of any marketing funnel, right, there are some basic structures that marketing follows and content follows, right? Either you're
Yeah.
educating someone, or you're informing someone, or you are sharing a tip, a trick, a day in the life. Like if you go to, just type it on Google, like, 30 blog ideas or 30 social media posts for tomorrow, right? These will give you tons of information, because you're either educating them, you're raising awareness, you're informing, you're having a conversation. So I think the basic line to creating good content is to think, what does my audience maybe not know, or what can I share from my daily experience that will add value to my audience's life, or what did I experience today or yesterday that maybe someone else is experiencing and that I can share my experience about. So, for example, like I share pretty much day to day. So, I think yesterday or day before, I was on this podcast a couple of weeks ago, and Rahul, who is the host for the Sales Spin podcast plugin, you should go check it out. He sent me this really nice box of like a gift, and I uploaded that, being like, people are so sweet. Like I wasn't expecting this to land up at my house, and like there's this like really nice box of skincare stuff that he sent over, and I was so happy, and I was like, I want to share this because it gives me happiness. So I mean, content doesn't have to always be that like 10,000 words. Like I know it seems overwhelming in the beginning, but just kind of break your day down and see, like, maybe you know some way to automate something that maybe someone else doesn't know. Maybe you had a client interaction that you learned something from. Maybe you had a conversation with somebody. Maybe you are thinking that, say for example, like, Pepper Content's logo is this, and this is what I think of the logo, right? So it's always taking a topic that you're comfortable talking about and adding in your experience and your views. So that's like the basic formula. And if you just kind of look at other people who are in your niche, what are they posting, you'll realize that there are some commonalities in topics. Like, you go through maybe 5 or 10 people, you'll start seeing commonalities. So just make a list, and then when you're stuck, or if you're like, I don't know what to write, just go look at that list and then be like, okay, I like, say for example, Ankur Warikoo wrote about why you need to pick up a side hustle in college. What did I do when I was in college? And then you write that post and you share it. So it's very simple, and the more you write, the better you get, as I keep saying. Over to you,
That's
Pranav.
a that's a really great idea, Vanshika. I think I've not heard this from anyone before. That just pick up a random creator, see what they're writing about, and you can get that inspiration in such a beautiful way. So I see a lot of posts like, "I just turned 21 today. Here are 21 things that I've learned." So that
Yes,
is always original and that is always new for everyone else because they have been learning different stuff. You come from a different background. So yeah, I think totally love that
totally.
point of
Ankur
view as well.
Warikoo had a failure resume, which was like everybody
Yeah,
was talking about it. Like everyone that knows Ankur Warikoo knows that he had that failure resume. So like you can just take inspiration and create your own, and that becomes your next content piece. So there's inspiration all around. You just have to kind of open your eyes and see what other people are talking about, and then pick up. If you were watching Elevate today, you should literally have like 3 notebooks filled with notes that you can literally create content for the next 6 months. Like literally, if you even listen to where we are right now, for the last 1 hour we've been together and we've been chatting. If you've even picked up on one thing and you share it, like that's your next content. And if you do, please tag me. I would love to see what you learned from here. So uh,
same. Yeah.
if you're here watching, start making notes and then use each of these as a post idea. I mean, tons of ideas that we talked about just right here.
Yeah, I think once you've got that content calendar in your mind, once you've got a bunch of ideas, and we'll tell you how to get these ideas. So let's just come to the sheet again. Once we're done with the about section, so you can see we have been just filling this sheet as a homework. Now, once we come to the content strategy bit, you can use all these pillars. You can always refer to them, and you can even write this inspire from other creators. Yeah, and I think once you get to the ideation part, right, you can use these two tools in Peppertype right now to create a bunch of really cool ideas in your niche. So let's say if I'm creating ideas for Vanshika, right? So I can just create these 3 keywords: brand strategy, copywriting, and strategy communications. I just enter in these 3 keywords, and this is where Peppertype shines. It's going to brainstorm all the ideas. How to present an offer in an email. 5 tips for writing persuasive headlines. Why you should be doing using social media to drive a business.
That's a
How to
really
use
good
funnel
topic.
marketing. Yeah, I think really great topics here, and you can just keep on downloading them or saving them.
Yeah,
7 ways to be a good and effective brand ambassador.
love
I
it.
think I think I'm just
E-
going to pick up this for this particular session, and we are going to write a whole LinkedIn post on this particular topic right now. So yeah, you can always use all these topics, and I can't
I
even
love the
begin
one
to.
above the, what is it,
Yeah,
15 personality traits of great brand managers. I love that. I'm totally stealing that. Like, if you guys
got
see a
it.
post from me about that, you know where I got it from.
Definitely, I will just write about that as well. So brand strategy, the expensive task you need to take care before you publish the press button. So I think
Lovely.
this is a great way of presenting the topic. I think
Yeah,
why branding is such a big deal. So I think this is a very controversial topic. A lot of people don't really understand, how important branding is. So I think I'm just going to
absolutely.
pick up this as well. So we
Love
can
it.
keep on creating this. We can keep on getting a lot of ideas. I'm just going to pick up a bunch of them here. Why branding is such a big deal. Yeah, you can go to the save filter as well. These are all the topics that we have saved
I
right
like the
now.
15 personality traits. That's a really good topic.
Yeah, yeah. We're just going to pick up
That's a
all
really
of
good
them.
topic.
Yeah. I think we're going to pick up 4 right now. 7 tips on creating an effective brand strategy. This is a very generic.
That's nice.
Yeah, but we're just going to pick this up. Yeah, and not just this, you can even use the other tool called YouTube video topic ideas. So these ideas not very specific to this particular YouTube or blog. You can use them anywhere, right? So yeah, I'm just going to press the create content button. You can add in some advanced options if you want. There are some keywords you want to rank for. So yeah, what is a brand and what is a brand strategy? Very generic. 10 things I wish I knew before I started my career in marketing. Or you can change it to copywriting, or you can change it to branding. Yeah. So I think a bunch of topics here, and I'm just going to pick up these four at least, and we're going to try writing some content around the same. So Peppertype does not help you just ideate this content. Peppertype also helps you write this content. So let's say we're trying with starting with the 415 personality traits, right? So just to save some time here, I'm going to shorten this a little bit. We're going to use the tool called blog intro. We can use a bunch of tools I'm going to use here. I'll just show you the output of each of them, right? The first one is blog intro. I'm going to write Vanshika's LinkedIn post one. I'm going to enter this blog topic here. I'm going to go to the other tool called content expander, and instead of 15, I'll just do 5 here. I'll just add an hour. Okay, yeah. So I can add in a tone of voice also here. Yeah, create content. So it's going to start writing this 15 this. Right, a brand manager is responsible for creating, developing, and launching a product or a brand into the market. Then the phase. So this is an intro for the blog. This is just the introduction for your particular LinkedIn post. So you can definitely use this line to just tell that who is a brand manager. Yeah, I think we can start with this here. So what do you think, Vanshika? What do you think about the content that's generated?
Love it. I think it's very relatable and it's very to the point, which I really like personally as a content person. Like, I don't like fluffy content. I like precise and very direct content. So definitely good.
Yeah, and I think if you're changing it to five, right? So this is a definition of brand manager. This was just talking about it, and then you start writing these 5 pointers, right? So yeah, these are the exact 5 pointers that we asked for. So being a great brand manager takes time and commitment to develop. If you're a manager who has a lot of passion and cares about the work you're doing, these traits will help you grow into a strong brand manager. So I think I love this more, right? As an intro, it's specifically talking to the brand managers that hey, you might not be the best brand manager right now, but with time and commitment, you can definitely be one. And these are 5 things that it's mentioned right away. I'm going to copy them for now. What do you think, Pershing, about these 5 pointers? Do you think they're accurate, they're factually correct?
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, I definitely think that you really have to care, and yeah, I mean, it's really important to listen to what your client is saying and listen to the industry. Stand up for your brand, absolutely. Like, every brand is there for a reason. You have to be creative because within branding, there's no right or wrong, but you need to stand out, right? And long term view is very important. Yeah, I mean, totally, I would agree. And I mean, totally love what's written. I can probably create an entire post out of this for myself as well. So,
Yeah, so
very true.
um, great. Then I think these are various types of content that I've seen on Vanshika's profile and that I see on LinkedIn every single day. So she does really great posts around 100 to 300 words, as she shared earlier. She does articles on LinkedIn. So we have done a whole entire session on how to create a blog or an article using Peppertype. You can check that out. I'll just post the link at the end. Or you can conduct polls. You can make carousels. You can add videos. And I think this is one point that Vanshia told me yesterday, that people really like graphics on LinkedIn, right? If there's a whole post that you've written, if you just add a graphic to it, a visual appeal to it, People really love that. And Canva is your best friend in that. You don't really need a designer per se. You can just go to Canva, pick up a template, and oh, really sorry, yeah, you can just add in your title of the post. Like I can create a simple Canva graphic with this title: 5 personality traits of great brand managers, and I can start the post from here. So what do you think? I think this is around 100 words right now, and this is the length that I personally like to read on LinkedIn. You can create an entire article of 1,000 words as well. So yeah, I think this
Yeah.
is a LinkedIn post. Do you think there's anything that we can add more to it, Vanshika?
I would just add more detail. I mean, I love reading meaty stuff. So I'm pretty sure, like,
Okay,
if you put this one line into Pepper type again, it'll come up in a
yeah,
paragraph. So you can totally just do
let's do
that. I
that.
mean, that's what I've also done in the past. Like, the big heading expander. Yeah, that the blog heading expander. Yeah. So just like paste the title or paste that section in there, and it'll come up with new content. So.
So yeah, that's how
Um,
you go on writing an entire article. We have covered this in this video as well.
yeah.
So yeah, this is the whole content that we've seen is around this particular subheading.
Yep, there you go. So super, super easy, super simple. I mean, that's again one of my favorite things about it.
So you can input this content in the rewriter and just generate versions of it. You can simplify this content using the content simplifier. There are a bunch of tools. I can't even cover them, all of them. So I'll take you some really good ones. So you can use the Quora answers in case you need any answer in life, personal or you know related to your job as well. So, what are the 5 personalities of great brand managers? If I ask the question, Cora answered this question, it's going to get me answers for that as well. So these content types are named as core answers, YouTube topic ideas. Doesn't mean you can't use them for LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, any of the social medias. So I'm just going to create more. But our great brand managers are very passionate about what they do. I've seen this line a lot of times now. I think they're always enthusiastic. They're hungry to learn more. They're very good listeners. They're optimistic about the future will bring. They're very focused. I think these it's given me 5 pointers here. Communication skills. So it's expanding on this one point as well, right? So bunch of really great stuff here. I think last thing that I want to show you is how you can also generate carousels videos. I would love to show them all to you, but definitely we have a time constraint here. So I think would love to show you this particular content type. That's called poll question and answer. So once you add in some topics that you talk about, right? So let's say if you want to even niche it down, I just add in copywriting and marketing, right? As a topic, you just enter the topics you want to talk about. You add in the audience that you have. So I have copywriters and marketers in my audience. Add in a tone of voice. I think friendly. You can even ask it to make witty polls, right? Let's try witty. Yeah. Which of the following phrases best describes your writing style?
That's
What do you think
lovely.
about this, Vanshika?
I write to educate, not to persuade. What?
Yeah.
I'm a marketer, not a writer. I write to persuade. I'm a copywriter, not a marketer. I think I'm like the second one. I'm a marketer, not a writer.
I actually like this one. I write to educate, not to persuade.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
think
Yeah.
this is also what's your go-to icebreaker line when you meet someone new. So it's so witty, it's so engaging that everybody would like to engage with this, right? The name's
Yeah.
name, but my friends call me this. So is this
Yeah.
your icebreaker? I am a your job title, and but I'm actually a this your real passion here. So I think these are great witty polls that you can use. You can even convert them to professional, friendly, any of the tones that you want. Which of these famous copywriters is most like you?
I'm a classy kind of person. I care about the quality of my work. That's me.
Got it. This is Vanshika.
I'm
I
a
just
world
wanted.
class writer and I'm lucky. Wow, I'm going to write that on my breakup emails with my clients. I'm a world
I'm a
class writer
classic.
and you're lucky I'm working for you. Was working past
I was
tense.
working for you. You can
Love
generate
it.
more and more of these polls, and I think I was checking out this content type yesterday night, and I was doing it for fun after a time. So What's your favorite animal? Even if it's not related to copywriting, that's such a you know lively question to ask someone. And it's giving me a tiger. They're
The only
huge and
animal
harmless.
that can kill with its own paws, and it's so cute. The bear is super cute. The description is very, very cute.
So I think we can get this debate started, which is better, copywriting or marketing. So copywriting is the most important part. Marketing, I can't succeed. There's no difference. They're both
There is
equally
no
important.
difference. They're both important. You need to be a good writer to be a marketer, and you need to be a marketer to write more marketing kind of content. So
So I
they're
think
actually
these are some
very
polls that we're
nice.
generating right now. And you know, Manishika, what's your take on this? Do you like these kind of polls? Would you like to conduct more of these on your profile?
Yeah, so polls currently are doing really well on LinkedIn, and specifically polls that are generally like meant to really, um, talk to your audience and engage with your audience. So some of my polls have had over 2,000, 3,000 people voting, and it's so easy, right? To just like your audience just has to hit a button, which is again awesome. So definitely you should do some good polls that make sense for your target audience, right? Like, if you want to just have fun, that's also okay. If you want to really learn something, that's okay. You want to understand what kind of content they want to see from you, you could totally do that. So, many, many use cases.
And I think, Vanshika, I've been waiting to say this, but I really love your this poll. Why did the freelancer cross the road? Get to the other side, start working on edit to ask for advance payment.
Yeah.
Freaking, I really love this poll, and I think something like this has been, I've taken the inspiration of this poll to train the Peppertype model. So if you enter
Sweet.
freelance or if you enter content creator, you might come across polls that are as witty as this.
Love it.
So I think,
Love it.
yeah, this is what we had for today's session, everyone. And it's the time for the surprise part that I've been telling you since the start. So Peppertype costs you exactly $0 to get started. It's absolutely free. You can get a free trial for 10,000 words once you start. So you can go to the
That's a
peppertype.ai website.
lot. That's a
Yeah, I think
lot.
10,000 words that are generated and not that are not input by you. So it's completely free to get started. You can just go to the Peppertype website and create an account for free. Uh, After that, if you want to upgrade to a paid plan, we give you all the functionalities, we give you all the content that you can generate. It's completely unlimited. So imagine having to pay. It's a very cheap tool. It costs $25 per month if you buy it on an annual plan, and you can use the code Typer20 to actually get a 20% discount on top of that as well. And you can generate absolutely unlimited content without any restrictions on the number of content types. So this was the surprise that I had for you all. So, Anshika, over to you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for sticking around on a Saturday night. And if you're from not from India, then your morning or afternoon, wherever it is for you. So thank you so much. I hope that you've taken away nuggets of information and learnings. And my only hope is that you get inspired to start writing content and build up your personal brand on LinkedIn with Peppertype, which is, I think, an amazing tool to get you started. So, yeah, I mean, if it's 10,000 words, that's a lot. Like, you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
probably create like months of content, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
use the tool,
People,
use it wisely.
I think I'll just quickly answer some of the questions that are being asked in the Q&A section. But yeah, I think in the 10,000 words that are served, people create 3 months of content. So yeah, just quickly answer this. Yeah. So free version only has 5,000 words. No, no. If you create an account today, you get 10,000 words free. You can try it right now after this session has ended. So yeah. Second question that I see is I'm logged in right now and I don't see polls within Peppertech. Yeah, it's being released as soon as this session ends. So it was an exclusive content type that we reserved for this particular session. If you log in right now, go to the bottom, you'll see the engaging polls and questions right now. I'm not a content creator. Still, do I have to share content on LA? I think Manishika answered this really good. What content should I posting if I want to generate leads for my business? So Manishika, do you want to take that up?
Yeah, if you want to generate leads, talk about your audience's pain points, talk about things that you've learned, talk about things that bother them and keep them up at night. If your audience is businesses, talk about how does X relate to revenue. That's it. Like every business cares about the bottom line. The bigger the impact on the bottom line, the more valuable you're going to get, irrespective of what you do. And honestly, when you're generating leads, it is important to be wary about the quality of your content, which is again where Peppertype comes in. You need to create high quality content to be trusted. So use a tool like Peppertype to build high quality trusted information so that you get seen as a thought leader. And when you're seen as a thought leader, like leads will instantly, come in. So on average, on LinkedIn, I generate somewhere between 3 to 12 leads a week, and totally organic, totally people just reaching out to me after reading my content. So if I can do it, you can do it too. There's no secret magic like that I've been born with or I've been given. It is literally just hard work and consistency. Stick to those two and you're all set.
Great, I think Vanshika, that's all the questions that we can pick right now.
Awesome.
Everyone, we're really sorry that we're stretching this session so long, but thanks a lot for joining us today. And if you have any other questions, I'll be answering these questions personally on my email. So pranav@peppertype.ai, you can just drop me an email with your question. I'll be getting back to you on that email itself. But we're really sorry that we have to end this session now. Thanks a lot for everyone who has stuck through, and do give a Vanshika a follow at the end. I think thanks a
Yes.
lot, Vanshika, for doing this. It's
Thanks
been
for
a
having me.
delight and it's been gems of knowledge. And thanks a lot for sharing this with us.